What is up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers and NFL collaboration of the Transformers Goldrush as well as Blizz-Herd. Now, for all 32 NFL teams, they've basically done like this collaboration where they're going to make every single one of the teams as a Transformer, and they all transform into American football helmets. For those of you who are viewers outside of the U.S., and if you are, I greatly appreciate you viewing my content. But regardless, I wanted to do this because I just wanted to. At the end of the day, if you're wondering why, I just wanted to because the wave that these two come out in is the same wave, and they also happen to be my two teams from the NFL. These are the two teams that I root for. These are the two teams I grew up with, and so why not review them both? Now, what I like to make clear is despite them making 32 separate figures for each of the teams, at the end of the day, they are all basically the same mold. The only difference is the deco, the color, the logo, as well as the head sculpts, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, these are all entirely the same, and so why not review both of these guys at the same time? And so take a look at the boxes here. You can obviously see this is for the Buffalo Bills. We have Blizz-Herd here. Let's take a look at Blizz-Herd here. You can see obviously the Buffalo Bills logo. You can see how he looks in his helmet mode. Obviously, Blizz-Herd, the 2-in-1 right there, Transformers logo, obviously the NFL logo up here, and then the official NFL license logo up there as well. And then you have your obligatory product shots here on the back. You can see Blizz-Herd. Very, very appropriate, especially because in Buffalo, it's very, very cold in Western New York, let me tell you what. It's very, very cold. But regardless, take a look at this. We're going to set this off to the side. We'll take a look at Goldrush here. And obviously, when it comes to Goldrush, you can obviously see the San Francisco there. See Goldrush. Obviously, see the Goldrush in his helmet mode. The San Francisco 49ers logo here. Nice product shot of Goldrush there. Very obviously reference to, in the Bay Area having the Gold Rush, gold miners coming in, which is why the San Francisco 49ers are named the way that they are. In addition to that, obviously the Bay Area can't go wrong. So overall, when it comes to these boxes, they're pretty cool. They're very much like, how do I describe it? They're like the old, 2007 mainline, Transformers packaging, and then, the preceding movies like Dark of the Moon, as well as Revenge of the Fallen. This is the packaging for a lot of the deluxe figures, and so they obviously emulated that here. And so, folks, as we've seen the packaging, I think they did a good job, and without further ado, alrighty, folks, here we have the Transformers NFL collab of Blizz-Herd as well as Goldrush out of the box and in their football helmet modes, and they look great. This is obviously where they wanted to make it all look good, because I imagine that the NFL, their only major criteria was to make sure that each of the logos for each of the teams was very visible, very well done, as well as not super compromised in terms of how they look. And so I think they've absolutely nailed it here. So taking a look first, obviously we have the helmet for the Buffalo Bills, so we're going to take a look here. You can see the Autobot logos are both present on both of these figures, both right there. Then you can see obviously the nice Buffalo Bills logo right there. Then you can see the nice Buffalo Bills stripe. It just looks cool all around, and then you actually have storage for this little football here, so you can see the football there. If you're wondering why it's called a football, it's because I believe it is a foot long, if I'm not mistaken. That is why it's called a football. But looks really, really cool, so can't complain there. And then the way you peg it in, there's a little peg right there where your mouth guard would be. And you can, there's a peg right there where the mouth guard would be, and then you obviously have the little peg hole there, so just peg that into place, and bam, it's cool storage. I actually really, really like it, and despite it obviously being a Transformer, when you look at this part, it actually looks pretty convincing otherwise. It's very well done, very solid as well. These guys feel pretty solid when it comes to their plastic quality and everything like that. Take a look at Gold Rush here. Obviously see the San Francisco 49ers logo, obviously the gold, the red, and the white, very indicative of the San Francisco 49ers, a little bit of black as well. If you've seen their uniforms, their rivalry uniforms, it's basically the faithful uniforms. They're all black. They're very much like, they're all black. They have red, gold, and white for the lettering and everything like that. And it says, faithful on the back, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you can take a look here. This looks really, really good. I'm very much a fan of the red and gold. I maybe would have preferred the red and the white, but obviously that might be more Cardinals than anything else. But it still looks good otherwise. I'm very, very happy that they obviously have the gold. Obviously, naming him Gold Rush is a reason they put the gold on here. But it just looks great. I have no major complaints with how these look. So when it comes to their helmet modes, they're nice, they're dense, they have cool storage for their little weapon, I guess you would call it, being the football. But overall, when it comes to a collaboration, I'm pretty happy with it because, for me, I like to have these on my shelf instead of actually buying the actual NFL stuff. It's cool to have, a collaboration between, the NFL and one of my favorite media franchises of all time. And so what we're going to do, we're just going to Move these guys off to the side a little bit, and we're just going to bring in Magnius. I'm not even going to bother doing a cut here, but there's Magnius. As you can see, they're about the size of an average size deluxe, but they have a little bit more plastic density, so it's kind of like giving us a Voyager figure at a deluxe class size, like a Voyager price point at deluxe class size. These guys are about $35, which is a little bit expensive. Obviously, I imagine that they upcharge it a bit because of the NFL collaboration in general, but when it comes to their sizing, they feel more like Voyager class figures that are deluxe size. So at the end of the day, you can see the size there. So we'll remove them, and then we're just going to transform one of these guys. So I'm going to set, let's set Goldrush off to the side here, but we'll transform Blizz-Herd. The transformation is a little bit cumbersome. It's a little bit like, how do I say this? When you get them to their robot modes, they're definitely more encumbered than I'd like them to be, but I also get why. We'll talk about that when we get to the robot mode. But the transformation itself is not bad. It's just sometimes feels a little bit not the most fun to do. It's not that it's awful or anything like that. It's just kind of like there's moments where I'm like, man, I really didn't wish I had to do this, right? So what we're going to do first is we're going to untab essentially the whole front of the helmet almost. It's like the whole half of the helmet in general. So you want to untab those like this, and you just want to sort of loosen it all up, and this should release pretty handily like that, and then this will become an accessory on the back. So we'll just set this off to the side for now. Then from here, what we're going to do is what I like to do is you can take this section, you can sort of start to split it like this, and then you can accordion the legs like so, and then what will become the legs. Then you can raise this part up like this. Then you can bring the waist a bit down here. You can then take this and you can split this part. That's annoying. The only most annoying bit here. There you go. You just remove that shoulder for me in particular. Then you can sort of rotate them down. And then what you're going to do here for the legs is I like to do it like this. So you're going to untab this, rotate it around, and I like to rotate it around to where just this tab is facing the front. I think this looks better. Then you can accordion that up, fold the foot down like so, and then you're going to rotate this out like so, straighten the leg out, so, and rotate this around like so, so that this is facing the front. Then you're going to fold that panel up on the back, fold the foot down, and then you're going to fold the heel out like so. Then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to take this section, you're going to pull these out a bit more, just give yourself more space, and accordion this down. Then this will essentially push the head out, will start to push the head out here. So come here to the back, you want to pull the head out, just rotate it all the way around. Then you can sort of collapse the back and the front, and there goes his little helmet, which is a little annoying. I got it though. So we'll just leave that off for now. And then from here, all you got to do is take the fists, untab them, or accordion them out, excuse me. Same thing here, just fold them out. Like so. Then what you can do is you're going to push and pull, or pull this in. And you can have these whichever way. The best way I like to have them is maybe something like this. I think they're the most and less out of the way. You can accordion these outward like so, each of the shoulder pads. And just pull them, push them in, take around like this, and straighten everything out. Then you can take the helmet, and then what you'll do is, I do like it that you have a separate helmet. Just do that. And then what we'll do is we will transform Goldrush here. And well, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers NFL collaboration of Blizz-Herd and Goldrush in the robot modes. And to complete their look, what we're going to do is you can come here on the back, and what you'll see, we'll untab this. There's a peg, big peg right here, and there's a peg hole here on the back. Whoops, I need to raise that, my bad. Then you just peg that in like so. And then there is their storage. So again, we can just remove the football. Oops, that was the front of the face guard. Dropping stuff already, as per usual. But why wouldn't it be a review for me if I wasn't dropping anything? Then just tab that all into place. And here we have them in their robot modes. And guys, these guys look pretty cool. At the end of the day, I think they're kind of built to look like football linebackers, which absolutely makes sense because they're so chunky and bulky and whatnot. They're very, very large characters in general. I'm sorry, large and imposing figures, I guess, in general. But they look fine. The major difference between them is definitely their head sculpt. So if we remove their helmets here, which is cool that they have them. We can set them right there. You can see the differences in the head sculpt. So take a look at the details here. Obviously, this is Blizz-Herd. You can see his head. I don't know if he looks like Jim Kelly or Josh Allen or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what he's supposed to look like, but they do have a nice visor. The blue, the silver is really nice. It looks good all around. Here's the Autobot logo. And obviously, the Bills colors come through. Got some nice striping here on the bottom. Looks really, really solid all around. I have nothing major to complain about besides how encumbered they are. They're very bulky, and that definitely hampers with the articulation, as you'll see, but they look fine. I mean, I'm never going to have them in their robot modes, but it's nice that they did incorporate this, and they're taking a look at Goldrush here. Don't know if he looks like Joe Montana. I don't think he looks like Brock Purdy all that much, because or George Kittle. I'm not exactly sure who he's supposed to look like, but that looks very nice. You can see the nice blue eyes instead of the visor, compared to Blizz-Herd. Obviously, see the nice silver just like Blizz-Herd has, and you can see the nice Autobot logo still. The nice gold here. This looks really good. I like the gold here. I think there's a lot more color separation here than here, because you lose a little of the detail in the blue and the thighs here. Here you get a nice breakup with the gold. The white looks nice. The red looks good. I do like how colorful both of them are, just colorful in different ways. So overall, Overall, when it comes to how these guys look, again, they're very bulky and encumbered, but that kind of makes sense for being football collaboration figures at the end of the day. Take a look at their helmets. Obviously, you can see the nice Bills logo right there for the Blizz-Herd one. It does look pretty cool. I'm very happy that they added football helmets and that they actually fit in the football mode. You can see the San Francisco 49ers logo, the nice gold for this one. It looks really nice overall, and then all you have to do is just unpeg them like this or split them in half. Then you can just put them on like this by squeezing them over their heads. The major complaint I have about these, yes, this one on my Bills one in particularly is loose, which kind of sucks. And they are kind of loose in general. It's very easy to knock these off. But I think for a robot, football characters, they do resemble the actual real helmets rather nicely overall. So overall, when it comes to their looks and everything like that, even though that they're nothing to write home about at the end of the day, if you're a fan of North American football, I think you'll enjoy these. So just like I did with Magnus, what we're going to do, set these guys off to the side here. We're going to bring them in here. Alrighty guys, and here they are with Magnus. As you can see, like I told you, they're a little bit bigger than average size deluxe, but they still have that deluxe feel in terms of their size. They aren't necessarily, in my opinion, like old Voyager size. They're a bit bigger and chunkier, and they have more plastic density and quality overall. So I'd say when you're comparing them to an average deluxe, they're a little bit bigger, but they're closer to like I'd say almost like a Trailbreaker from Earthrise, or Hoist from Earthrise, something like that. That's about how big these guys are. A bit big and chunky, but again, for being football related characters, North American football related characters, that makes sense in my opinion. Alrighty, very quick before we get into the articulation. Obviously, you can store the football on the back, but at the same time, you do have little pegs here on their hands, so you can actually peg in the football, and it looks like that they're holding the football, maybe like a running back or just like a quarterback or something like that, just holding the ball, getting ready to throw it or something like that. But overall, it's pretty cool. It obviously looks a bit awkward from that angle. I think from an angle like this, it definitely looks better, right? But from an angle like this, it looks weird. But it's nice that they added in that little feature. I'd be kind of remiss if they didn't add an ability for these characters to hold a football in some way, or these figures in general. So yeah, when it comes to their articulation, however, it's a bit encumbered because they are very big and bulky. Obviously moving around in football gear in enough as it is already difficult, but yeah, that's kind of exacerbated here because they wanted to get that football feel, I had to imagine. And so at the end of the day, being big and chunky in a figure like this ends up making it a bit harder to move around than you'd like it. But it's not bad, it's obviously just encumbered. So there's just so much kibble, but we're going to remove the helmet so I have an easier time here. So the head, I believe, is just on the swivel. Oh no, it's on the ball joint. Okay, it's very minor. It's not the easiest to get, but you can do full 360 here at the shoulders as well. Out in the shoulder pads also move around in the accordion, and obviously 90-degree bend at the elbow, and I don't think, there's no wrist articulation, which is no surprise. We do have full waist articulation. You can kick forward, you can kick back. You have more than 90 at the knee, or about 90 at the knee. I thought it was just a little more. Rotation of the upper part of the thigh, and then you have some minor ankle rocker pivot, nothing crazy. So like I said, it's just that there's so much kibble. They kind of bump it, particularly in the shoulders. It's really where it's annoying, and the arms feel a little bit stubby. But overall, it's not bad. Articulate. And there goes the front of my helmet again. And of course, I have a white. Oh, give me 1 second. Like I was saying, overall, it's not bad. It's just, again, in the upper body in particular, it's a little bit encumbered just because of how much crap is up there. But it's not bad. I was actually expecting it to be much, much worse, but I am pleasantly surprised with how okay it actually is. Nothing to write home about, but nothing too terrible. In fact, funnily enough, when you think about it, it's kind of crazy that these stupid collaboration figures have full waist articulation when our current SS86 Seeker mold still doesn't have the full waist articulation. But hey, that's just me. Alrighty, folks, it's time to get into their reverse transformation, which I think is a little bit more annoying than getting them into their robot modes. But at the end of the day, it's not that much more different from really getting them into their robot modes from their helmet mode. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set Blizz-Herd off to the side since we did the transformation going forward, going to robot with him. So we're going to do the reverse transformation with Goldrush here. So fold the ankles, fold the heels in, then you want to take the feet, and what you'll see is that there's a tab hole there and there's tabs on their feet, the tops of their feet. You just want to peg those in like so. Then from here you can take their back panels and then you can fold these down like so. Then from here you can rotate these all the way around to where these bits line up like so. So again, rotate this all the way around and then that will line up, and then we'll just leave the legs like this for now. Then from here you're going to fold the fists in. Then what you're going to do is you are going to collapse the shoulders and straighten out the arms. You start to collapse them. I wouldn't collapse them all the way because it can get encumbered when you're trying to transform. Everything can get in the way here. And then from here, what you're going to do, you're going to take the chest and you're going to start to accordion this up. And then you're going to take this section, remove the back piece if you have it attached. Then you're going to accordion these and then accordion this out so you have enough clearance to fold the head all the way back in like so. And you can fold it with the helmet. Then from here, you can rotate this all the way up. You can fold this down, and then what you'll see is that this will all tab in very nicely like this. Start to accordion this. Then what you can do is you can plug these in together. You're going to take the waist. You're going to bend it all the way up like so. Then what you can do is you can start to bend these and collapse everything together like so. Then from here with the arms, you can finally start to really collapse all this in and plug it in together. You want to pull these a little bit. This just collapse all this in. Same thing on this side, so you can peg that in. Start to rotate this around. Then all these panels, more or less, should just kind of squeeze together like this. And you can see these tabs should line up here and tab in like so on both sides. Then from here, what I think is actually very cool about the transformation, once you get it to this point, what you want to do is rotate these around the helmet guard pieces. Just get that all tabbed together. Then what you'll see is when you rotate them around, you can just push these in and these will just tab into place like so. And it's really cool. I think that's probably the most clever part of the transformation going both ways. Then from here, where you're going to see there's tab holes on both sides, 2 to be exact. Then what you're going to do is just going to tab all this in. You can see that there are these tabs on the face guard that you attach to his back. Tab that all in, and then you just got to line up all of the helmet guard pieces. Then you can take the football, obviously take this, and then you can just plug it in here. Just make sure everything is compressed. Set this guy off to the side. And guys, there we have both the Transformers NFL collab Blizz-Herd as well as Goldrush back in their helmet modes. And so, guys, for my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers NFL collaboration of Blizz-Herd as well as Goldrush, in general, when it comes to this, I think they're fine. They're very much a novelty at the end of the day. If you're a fan of American football, you'll definitely enjoy these. If you're not, you're more than likely going to pass on these, and I wouldn't blame you. But when we're talking about the actual figures themselves, at the end of the day, their plastic quality is pretty good. The plastic density also feels really good. They feel hefty. They feel good to handle. Their helmet modes are great. Their robot modes, even though they do look a bit big and chunky, they're supposed to replicate American football players, and they're pretty much all massive people. And then in addition to that, I do like the addition of the football as well as the storage in general in both the robot mode as well as helmet mode. However, some of the issues I have is that they are encumbered. The articulation is a bit hampered by how much kibble there is. They can be a little bit annoying to get both into their respective modes, whether it's robot mode or helmet mode. And sometimes the football as well as the helmets on top of the heads in the robot modes like to get a bit looser than I, would like in general. But overall, they're all right. They're not too bad, not amazing, but not too bad whatsoever. And so for a score out of 10, I'm probably going to give them like a 6 or a 7. I would definitely not recommend it if you don't care for American football. But for those of you who do, it's a nice novelty to have, and is, especially if you're also a Transformers fan as well as a football fan, it ends up working out, right? And so for me, I'm just happy to have a little bit of more merchandise and memorabilia for two of my favorite teams in the entirety of the NFL, which is funny, by the way, considering that both of my teams are complete opposite sides of the country. But at the end of the day, I grew up with both of these teams. So when it comes to recommending them, again, only recommend them if you're a fan of American football. If not, they're, kind of pointless beyond that, especially with their price of $35. You could definitely spend that on like a Voyager class figure or something like that, that you would enjoy more than these guys. But for me, I am happy to have them, and they will be sitting on my shelf basically like 20 or 30 minutes after this review. So that's it for the review, though. I did pick mine up on Hasbro Pulse, so I'll leave a link in the description if you guys wish to pick those up, if you guys wish to pick these up. But definitely just search NFL on the Hasbro Pulse website. I'll see if I can find any other places to buy these, but I think you can really only get them through Hasbro Pulse right now. But if you're looking IRL, I saw at my local Walmart they have the Chiefs and they have Green Bay out right now. I think their first was they had the Cowboys and they had the Steelers. I think that was the first wave I saw in store. So definitely be on the lookout. You might find your favorite team in there or favorite teams and definitely be willing to pick them up that way. So if you do hunt IRL, wish you the best of luck. But you should be able to find them pretty easily in general when it comes to just like finding these on the shelf. People aren't really buying these all that much, so I wouldn't be surprised if you are able to find these very easily. But yeah, that's it for the review. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.
Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check as I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast